Focus. I'm about to show you 3 lashes and tell me if they are pretty or not. Pretty? No. Pretty? No. Pretty? No. What is wrong? Come here, let's learn. We are about to look at the right lash styles that work for this eye shape. Are you ready? Let's get started. Quick recap. Last week we learned about the classic lash style, the hybrid lash style, the volume lash style, the cut eye set, and the doll eye set. Today we'll be learning about 5 different lash styles as well, making 10 lash styles. Our first on the list will be the squirrel lash style, the wet lash style, the anime lash style, the reverse cut eye. Have you heard of the reverse cut eye? We will be treating it today. Last on the list would be the colored lash style. First on the list is the squirrel lash style. The squirrel lash style is achieved when the marking mimics the technique of a squirrel tail. So we know how a squirrel tail looks like. This is a squirrel and this is how its tail looks like. Wispy, long, and angled. Right? So when the mapping of a lash style mimics the technique of a squirrel tail, we have a squirrel lash style. How is a squirrel lash style achieved? To achieve a squirrel lash style, we will divide the eyelash into 3 parts. So there's the first part, the second part, and the third part. With this particular mapping, you gradually increase the length of the lashes within the first 2/3 of your mapping. If your lash lengths are between 8 to 13 or 14, but from the beginning of the first 1/3 to the ending of the second 2/3, you are using between the 8 and the 13. Do you understand? Then the third part of the third division, you can use a length 10. These are some mappings that you can follow. When do people tend to go for this particular lash look? People tend to go for this particular lash look if they have down 10 eyes but are aiming to achieve a cut eye look. So we know that when you have down 10 eye and you do cut eye set, the cut eye set would weigh your eyelashes down, so it would give you a droopy eye set. So to avoid getting a droopy eye set, you would do a squirrel eyelash style. Do you understand? The wet lash style. This mimics the appearance of the natural lash style that are slightly wet. So like when I pull you, dip you into the pool, and you come out. That look, the wet look, that is what we call the wet lash style. How to achieve this look? We achieve this look by mapping various lengths of spikes. How do we create spikes, you would ask me? So pick your bunda and pick your lash tray. When you glide the bunda over the lash tray, it would cluster. So one of the clusters would create a spike. One of the cluster would create a spike. So with the clusters that you have created, you can do your own lash mapping with the various lengths that you have. Your natural eyelashes, when you separate them and you put one spike on one natural lash, when you arrange it various lengths, anyhow you want to arrange it, you have created a wet look. You get to play with the various lengths and map it in a way that looks fun to you, or map it in a way that pertains to your customer's eye shape. Okay, when do people tend to go for this particular look? Okay, so people tend to go for the wet eyelash style when they are trying to achieve the classic look, but they want it to be a bit darker and they want it to be a bit glossier. Like they want the wet look. So with the wet look, you're getting a look that is a bit darker, a bit glossier, and more wispy. The anime lash extensions. What are the anime lash extensions? Just like the name sounds, they are inspired by anime characters. They are very bold, they are very dramatic, and they are very exaggerated. You should put the names of your favorite anime characters in the comment section below. Okay, so how do we achieve this look? This look is a mixture of classic lash styles and the wet look. You create spikes, like I told you earlier. You create spikes. After you've created the spikes, you separate the eyelashes into two. So the first set of the natural eyelashes are going to have the spikes on them, right? And then the second set of the eyelashes are going to be filled with the classic lash set. So you're going to fill the second set with the classic lash set. So your lash is going to be a mixture of the wet lash style and the classic lash style. Usually for this particular extension, the spiky sets are of longer length compared to the classic sets. Okay, so the spiky sets end up standing out thicker, longer compared to the classic set. Notice that there are some clients who happen to have layered eyelashes. If you have a client who have layered eyelashes, I suggest that if the layers of the person's eyelashes are three, you only do the spiky set on the first and the second layer. You leave the third layer, or else it will become thick. You are not trying to create a thick look because already they are clusters, they are thick on their own. So you're not trying to create a look that is clamped together. No, you're trying to create a look that is bold but not clamped together. Okay, great. When do people tend to go in for this lash style? This particular lash style fits everybody. It's all dependent on your lash tech, looking at your eye shape and being able to map them properly with the various lengths. Reverse cat eye. So the reverse cat eye, like the name sounds, is the cat eye but in reverse form. Okay, let me explain. So we know how cat eye have their longer length at the outer corners of the eyes. Yes, with the reverse cat eye, the longer length are towards the inner corners of the eyes, and the shorter length are at the outer corners of the eyes. How to achieve this particular look? To achieve this particular look, pick any map set you have for the cat eye look and basically reverse it. When do people go in for the reverse cat eye look? People usually tend to go in for reverse cat eye when they have monolids. So we know that with the monolids, there's the absence of any visible crease. So with the absence of any visible crease, you want to go in for looks that are going to make your eyes look more opened, right? With the reverse cat eye, it gives you a wide and a more opened eye look. And to our last lash style for today, the colored lash style. This particular lash style, I have a love-hate relationship with this lash style because this lash style was created for specific groups of people. But yes, me and my people, the volume, the super volume, the mega volume is not enough for us. We want the pink, we want the violet, we want the indigo. Yes, bring it, we like it. So the colored lash style is when colors are being introduced to our lashes. So instead of the general black colors that we would tend to go in for, people tend to mix it with brown, pink, blue, and green. Okay, so why was this lash style created, or why did the lash industry decide to introduce the colored lash style? We know that there are people in our world today whose lashes are not black. They're either brown, very nude, like there are various shades of brown. Okay, so this lash style was introduced for this particular kind of people or group of people, but because of the society we are in, people tend to want to try new things, and they introduce the pink, the blue, the brown, and we have mixed them together. How do we achieve such a look? There are various ways to blend these colors into our lash style to make it more reasonable. With what most lash techs do, they divide the natural lashes into two. So the upper part of a natural lash, they tend to put the color on it, and beneath it they introduce the black, right? Some also just do the black lash set, and at the outer corners they introduce the colors. If you ask me why do people go for these colors, I don't know what to tell you. Like myself, we like drama, we like their drama. But yes, would I use colored lash sets? I would use colored lash sets if I have a very sparse natural lashes, right? She doesn't have enough natural lashes, but she wants a look that is like in between hybrid, not too full but full enough. I would use the brown lash set for her, because then if I do the volume lash set, it will be too dark and maybe the person is not going for an overpowering look, right? So using the brown lash set that is almost able to blend well enough with the black lash set, it would give a flawless look, and this person's lashes would look full enough but it would not look too dark, it would not look too overpowering. All too soon, we have come to the end of this video. It was nice coming your way. My name is Noe. Okay, if you are new here, thank you very much for coming. If you are a returning subscriber, you know how we do it. We love you, we love you, we love you. Yes, in our next video, we'll be looking at your eye shapes and some of the lash styles that I will recommend for your eye shape. I would look at your eye shapes and recommend some lash style for your eye shape. It was nice coming your way again. Until I see you next week, subscribe.
I am wealthy, I am strong, abundance follows all day long.